This is an old poem. I had actually written, this is called The Saga of Slater Gumas and Crafty Manager. And I had written actually, I think, 3 verses of the saga, or sections of the saga. But the only one that I have left is the first one. But I'll pretend like it's the beginning of a whole bunch of them. Part the first. Forces of which we know but do not know, and therefore against which we struggle in vain. In the why-for maybe not bollocks of quandary dimmed the bulb, the brain of Slater Gumas, whilst the crafty manager hummed and honed matrices of plots, woof and warp, barking and twisting in the karmic weave he wove to confound the very gods. Well, said crafty manager, looking loftily up with a bipolar grin, borderline psychosis, rampant and benevolent malevolence. Crofty it is as well as daft, and marmalade upon hot buttered toast is what matters most, if all were said and done. After all, without it, what would we all become? Gumas recoiled in confusion from consummated confrontation of the pointing of the finger and the knowledge that here was a raving man, yet an answer was required. Gloomily, Gumas looked at the beer cooler on the floor and spat out his answer, as faithful an answer as you'll ever hear, as he forgot about the beer. This is it, the pointed spread. Aye, this is what he said. I swear to you that I respect your choice, but might I suggest a muffin? Whereupon crafty manager erupted in angry retort. Demons dwell in the earth and also dragons. It is for me to know their homes, their trails, their routes of trade, their hoards, and the spells thereto. Slater Gumas slanked the wrinkled skull from which he thought, and looking out at crafty manager, he said, Master, I have the golden double coil of the dragon sire upon my person. Perhaps you would like to own the curse. Crafty manager's bushy eyebrows met over his wise but evil eyes. Aha, he said, ahem. You have the feathers, lout, cloth, and stitching of a serviceable lout, yet more there is than meets the eye to touch you in strange places. Why, O greasy one, oh why was the muffin mentioned? And how came you upon the golden double coil? Gumas, you amaze me. Fetch me my atomizer. My gas is noising, and we have plots to understand. Thus began the placing of the pythons for the scamper up the face. Thus did demons dance upon his eyebrows and febrile fingers fidget. Within the double helix being, shadows grew and flickered, mushrooms in a fertile loam, worms in slimy squaggle. Sesquipedalian propensities inflamed the nostrils of his stench, and crafty manager, he spat upon the bench. The torrent spread within and bulged, his eyes grew white. Beneath his red but brittle beak, stentorian oration throbbed in weight. Gumas, in our mortal praxis, bicuspids are bent and lips severely chewed to figure what is meant. And how to use the double coil is such a one that frankly rankles vexing, and yet within there glows the light of early vows, in pantheon of who's and how's, a powder keg of woes from which to learn solutions, causes, and confusions. A scapegoat is needed. We must hire the weasel. Gumas then twitched fixedly, and sweat upon his brow appeared, for it was greatly as he feared. That mind undone shall will what must duly be done. The master's mind, what unruly, was the only guide he had. The only guide was mad. Fetch me my medical practice, bring it to me now. Ah yes, the books, the hallowed nooks, the crannies and the paragraphs, vapor lock I fear, and vapor lock it is. Thus beginneth the saga of Slater Gumas and Crafty Manager. That's all I got.